What if the line between normal and broken isn't real? Not fixed, not objective, but something negotiated. Because when you look closely, the whole thing starts to wobble. In 1973, a psychologist, David Rosenhan, ran a strange experiment. Perfectly healthy people walked into psychiatric hospitals and said one simple thing: "I hear voices." That was enough. They were admitted, diagnosed, labeled. But here's the twist. The moment they got inside, they said, "I'm fine now." No voices. Didn't matter. Everything they did after that was interpreted through the label. Writing notes? Obsessive. Waiting quietly? Withdrawn. Asking questions? Suspicious. Once you're inside the story, every action becomes evidence. So what broke? The patients or the system trying to define them? And it gets stranger. After the study, a hospital challenged Rosenhan. "We won't be fooled," he said. "I'll send fake patients again." They identified dozens, but Rosenhan hadn't sent anyone. So now the question flips. If you see illness where there is none, what exactly are you diagnosing? And suddenly, a deeper crack appears. Because psychiatry, unlike measuring blood sugar or a broken bone, doesn't have a clean, physical marker. No universal test that says, "Here, this is the line." Instead, it works with patterns, behaviors, interpretations, which means part science, part judgment. And that's where the tension begins, because what counts as ill? Is it pain, loss of control, disconnection from reality? Or is it simply being different in the wrong environment? Think about it. A person who doesn't want to work, avoids people, lives in their own world. In one context, that's dysfunction. In another, it's a monk, a visionary, a prophet. History is full of people who heard voices and changed the world. And yet, today, the same experience might get you a diagnosis. So what changed? The brain? Or the interpretation? Maybe both. Because here's the uncomfortable middle ground. Psychiatry isn't pure fiction. Severe depression can trap someone in bed for weeks. Psychosis can blur reality to the point of danger. Anxiety can choke the body. These aren't abstract ideas. They're lived, physical, overwhelming states. But at the same time, the boundaries around them are not clean. They move. They expand. They adapt to culture. At one point, even being gay was classified as a disorder. Then it wasn't. Nothing in the brain suddenly changed overnight. The framework did. So now you're left with a strange question. If the definitions can shift, how solid are they? And then comes another layer. Because in modern life, something else is happening. Labels are multiplying. ADHD, OCD, anxiety spectrum, mood spectrum. It starts to feel like everyone is something. Not just struggling. Categorized. And maybe part of that is awareness. We see more, so we name more. But maybe part of it is something else. A system that prefers things defined, because defined things can be treated, managed, normalized. And suddenly, he's difficult becomes a diagnosis. She's intense becomes a condition. So where do you draw the line? Here's one way to look at it. Not perfect, but useful. Ask 3 things. Are you in pain? Are you losing control? Is your connection to reality breaking? If none of these are true, maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're just different. But even that isn't the end, because there's a trap on the other side too. The idea that no one can tell me anything. I define myself completely. Sounds freeing. Until you realize we all have blind spots. Someone deeply depressed might say they're fine. Someone in psychosis might trust what isn't real. So now you need 2 compasses. your inner experience. An external reflection. Neither alone is enough. Together, they might point somewhere closer to truth, but even then, it's not absolute. It's negotiated, adjusted, lived. So maybe the real question isn't, is psychiatry real? Or is it all nonsense, but something more unsettling? Something harder to answer. If normal is partly agreement, and illness is partly interpretation, then tell me this. Where exactly do you draw the line?